All right, so today we're going to talk about the MAGA Civil War. That's what they're calling it. And it's essentially the gritty versus the bigots. And honestly, I don't know about you, but I will pay to see that movie any day. And then we're going to talk about Luke Beasley. Yes, Mr. Luke Beasley, someone I just started watching probably 2 months ago, and he was a 1v5, and he changes the tune of Tim Pool and his dumb assness real quick. Let's have that conversation. All right, so you tell me, okay, if I'm crazy or not, all right? What do you think the outcome is going to be when you build a team, when you build a coalition of the most bigoted, the most racist, the most misogynist, the most homophobic, the most Islamic, the most anti-Semite, the most fill in the blank of anything that you want to label these individuals? What do you think is going to be the outcome of that team? And especially if you're not white, like you don't even have to be white to get the backlash of these types of individuals. Trump and his amigos built this team, this MAGA pool of idiots based off of fear mongering, based off of hating one another, based off of scapegoating immigrants and black folks and anything in between. He built his party off of that. So when the party senses any type of pushback or redirection of what they were promised, they're going to go after Trump. They're going to go after Elon Musk, Vivek, and anybody else, because that's the type of team that you built. So why are they surprised at this point? And I'm pretty sure if you haven't understood kind of the basis of this entire civil war that they're having, is over the H-1B visa legislation that's out there. And, I guess, well, let me just read you the definition, because over here we go off of definitions and we base everything off that. So the H-1B visa is a type of work visa in the United States that allows U.S. companies to hire foreign workers for specialized jobs. These jobs typically require advanced knowledge and skills like technology, engineering, or medicine. So I guess if you just took that, you'd be like, okay, it gives immigrants legal status, based off that visa to do these high-end jobs. In it on its own, it sounds like a good idea. But once again, if you kind of peel back the layers of why someone like Elon Musk or Vivek likes a policy like this, it's not because they want to give people opportunities. It's not like they want to give away their hard-earned money to non-US citizens. No, of course not. Like I said before, if you find yourself aligning with individuals like this, you might want to double check on what you're aligning with, because once again, just like anything else, capitalism, CEOs, business owners, they're going to exploit visas like this. And here's three of some of the critiques I would have when it comes to this visa. One is companies sometimes pay H-1B workers less than market wages, exploiting the fact that workers are tied to their employers for legal status. Workers may hesitate to negotiate or leave due to fear of losing their visas. 2, H-1B workers depend on their employers to maintain legal status in the U.S., which gives the employer significant control. Employers may use this to overwork employees, deny promotions, or threaten termination, which would force the workers to leave the U.S. And last, H-1B workers can't easily switch jobs because transferring the visas to a new employer is complicated and lengthy processes. This makes workers vulnerable to poor treatment as they feel trapped in unfavorable working conditions. Once again, that is the sweet kiss of capitalism right there. Like, hey, Yes, come to this country, but trust we're going to exploit you for everything that you got. And unfortunately, I don't feel bad for Elon and Vivek because this, like I said, this is the team they built. And now that they're trying to make it sound like this is some good positive thing for America, which some could argue, sure, his base doesn't want to hear that. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
In his clash with the far right over immigration, Elon Musk is now going after the hardliners, the very heart of the MAGA base, labeling them just a few hours ago as, quote, contemptible fools who must be removed from the Republican Party root and stem.
I wish he would have called them that during the election cycle, during the whole campaigning cycle. I wish. But no, of course, all this comes out after the fact. And of course, I love it. I want people who voted for Trump to have that buyer's remorse. And this right here is just the beginning.
Musk now finds himself pitted against the likes of Steve Bannon, however, Trump's former White House aide, who came out against Musk's push for H-1B visas, which allow highly skilled foreign workers into the U.S. and has long been the lifeblood of Silicon Valley.
H-1B visas, that's not what it's about. It's about taking American jobs and bringing over essentially what become indentured servants at lower wages. This thing's a scam by the oligarchs in Silicon Valley to basically take jobs from American citizens, give them to what become indentured servants from foreign countries, and then pay them less. Simple. To let them into through the golden door.
So now, it would kind of make sense if he was really genuinely worried about the safety and just the humanity of these individuals taking these visas. Of course, we know Steve Bannon isn't looking through that perspective. He just doesn't want brown people to take quote unquote American jobs. Once again, I thought they were the party of whoever's more qualified. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter the sex, the religion background. If you're highly qualified, you should have that job. Hey, guess what? Only Americans can have that job. And I'm pretty sure if we was to peel that onion back a little bit more layers, I'm pretty sure it's Americans that kind of look like him. You know what I'm saying? Or that might be considered a DEI hire or something stupid like that. You know what I'm saying? But if he really cared, it would be more in the tune of, we need to make sure we're giving anybody throughout the world the opportunities for these amazing jobs. But we need to make sure we're holding these companies, these CEOs, these employers accountable to making sure that they're paying equal wages and that these workers have regular American citizen rights that can't be easily exploited and used over their head, that they're going to be terminated and deported. That would kind of make more sense, right? But of course not. That's not their concern because they're racist. They're bigots. You can't logically think when you're a bigot. That simple. So
now, Bannon's comments align him with people like the far-right activist Laura Loomer, who has been bashing Musk for days now on this and is even accusing him of censoring her on his own platform. She is the anti-immigrant Trump ally who is now claiming that her blue checkmark was removed, her subscriptions were deactivated, her character limits for tweets and posts on X were limited for what she says is, quote, raising concerns and speaking the truth about the technocratic takeover of our country in the White House.
What? Hey, hold on. Lori Loomer, whoever the hell you are. So you're telling me that a billionaire who bought Twitter for his own purposes once you was kissing the ass of, and now all of a sudden he's censoring you? He's silencing your voice because you disagree with him? Wow. Whatever should we do You know what? I hope he takes away all the whatever check marks that you need on there. I hope he censors you to the point to where you're useless on that platform. I hope he makes whatever that you got built on there hell, because that's what people like you deserve. Simple as that. Don't go crying now talking about free speech and this when you appointed someone like that who could care less about free speech. Like I said, these platforms are private companies and they can do what they want. But no, they demanded someone like an Elon Musk take the reins of Twitter to make it great again. And that's without your ass being on there anymore. So, hey, you get what you get.
Now, that was after she posted racist messages like this, saying our country was built by white Europeans, actually, not third world invaders from India. More on what she is saying about why she lost those privileges on X in a moment with Donny O'Sullivan. But all of this began after Trump named Shriram Krishnan, a tech entrepreneur and investor who was born in India, as his senior policy advisor on artificial intelligence. He's not an immigration advisor for Trump, but this started this entire backlash. And it's culminated today with Elon Musk not backing off of his stance, despite the backlash that he is facing from the MAGA right. Instead, he's writing tonight, anyone of any race, creed, or nationality who came to America and worked like hell to contribute to this country will forever have my respect.
Now, once again, like I said, okay, if this was said by anybody else, let's say a Cornel West or a Michael Eric Dyson could say something like this, and it would be genuine. Anyone of any race, creed, nationality, who came to America and worked like hell to contribute to this country will forever have my respect. There's nothing wrong with that phrasing. It's just who it's coming from and where that person aligns their priorities with what party. Like I said at the beginning of this video, you built a base based off of hating other people, and then when you promote or try to spotlight someone who's not white and like them, they're going to come after you. It doesn't matter if you have billions, millions, or trillions. You're going against their core components, their core beliefs, which is brown people, non-white people don't belong in this country. They don't care how smart they are, what they invented, who they know. It doesn't matter. If you're brown, they don't want you around. That's simple. Hey, put that on a t-shirt. I literally just made that up. So once again, Elon Musk, who are you trying to convince here? Because all the liberals, the progressives who would believe something like that have left the building. You're talking to your base now, and they don't want to hear that.
Noticeably silent in all this infighting in his party, the president-elect himself. My political sources tonight are the former Deputy Assistant to President Biden, Jamal Simmons, Editor-in-Chief of The Dispatch, Jonah Goldberg, and CNN Senior Correspondent Donny O'Sullivan. And it's great to have you all here. Jonah, I'm sure you've been watching, just like I have, as all of this has been playing out, only getting worse today with really just seeing these people at each other's throats on lines. What does it say to you that Trump himself, who is the king of weighing in on things online, has not done so?
Because he doesn't have a good answer to this problem, right? He's got a very tight, small coalition as presidents go, and there's just not a lot of give in it. I mean, it's symbolized by the fact he's going to have a 2-seat, maybe with this new defection, a 3-seat majority in the House. If you have 3 or 4 or 5 congresspeople who agree with Laura Loomer and Steve Bannon, then you can't get any legislation done that Elon Musk wants. And so he's stuck in this hard place where he hasn't quite yet figured out how to get peace amongst the various Trumpy tribes back together. And I don't think this is going to be the schism that tears apart MAGA, but it is the first sign of what is probably going to be a good number of schisms and fault lines that divide people who have irreconcilable positions.
And once again, that's simple. And like he said, this is not going to break their entire party, which if it did, I would be delighted. Like, this will make the 4 years a lot more bearable, but unfortunately, it's probably going to take a lot more, and how fragile these individuals are, how egotistical they are, and how hateful they are, it's only bound to happen every step of the way. And that would give me comfort. You know what I'm saying? Because Trump didn't build a party to like they say, reach across the aisle to actually negotiate with, liberals and progressives with blah, blah, none of that. He built a party based off of hating other people, hating yourself to a certain extent, and being a bigot and being greedy. Because that's half of his cabinet right there. There's a bunch of millionaires and billionaires. And that's not a party I want to be with, one. And two, nothing positive is going to come out of that, at least for regular folks. So, I mean, they're going to F around and find out real quick. But like always, if you guys agree or disagree with anything I said in this segment, let me know in the comments down below. So a situation like this, one, just a side note, I think Jank could learn something from this interaction that we're going to watch. Luke Beasley, someone I slowly started warming up to for the past like maybe month. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes a lot for me to want to hear political, commentary from people. Like, I'm really stingy when it comes to that. But, I'm starting to warm up to him, especially after this performance here. But when you go into these kind of spaces, when you're going and talking and trying to have a conversation with someone who 9 times out of 10, 9.999% out of 10, they're going to be disingenuous. They don't care about facts. They don't care about logic. They don't care about having a good faith conversation. They're only there because they're getting paid to have a position. So there's really no hope for you to have a civil conversation, even if you have the facts in your hand. Logic is on your side. They're going to pretend like nothing is in front of them. They're going to continue with their talking points. When you're talking with people like that, you have to know what you're talking about, know what you need to say, and 9 times out of 10, it's not going to end in a handshake in a beer after. Because when you're standing on principle, when you're standing on business, when you're standing on truth, and for people who can't speak for themselves, 9 times out of 10, you're going to make somebody upset. You're not going to make a lot of friends like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be alone 9 times out of 10. And with this that we're about to see in regards to the whole January 6th, in its complexities and in its court documents and in all the reports that came from it, which I read a decent amount, but it's a lot. And if you're willing to have those deep conversations, you kind of need to know what you're talking about. And obviously, when it comes to Tim Pool, which, hey, let me just say this. If I was ever in Mr. Beasley's, I hope that's his last name, Beasley's, right? When I would, if I was in his position, God help me now, okay? I would jump over that desk and I would take that beanie off his bald-headed face, and I don't want to get in trouble by YouTube, but it would not go down nicely, okay? It would be the end of the conversation, and we would be talking about a different court case, my court case on me beating on Tim Pool. Him raising his voice like that, it made me want to jump into the screen and just, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be that disrespectful. But let's take a listen and see how Mr. Luke handled this.
You don't care what the facts are. You don't care if this is unjust. You only care that the machine state has decreed you are not to be locked up. And this is the problem I have with the left. They don't know the facts. They don't care about the facts. They view morality as a blanket government stroke of the pen, and every person, regardless of their crime, should be in prison for decades. I reject it outright. The people who fought cops should go to prison. They did. It's been 3 years. But when you've got people who are on misdemeanor charges for having walked into a building at 4 p.m. after the riot, and I know some of these people, they walked into a building for 2 minutes and walked out, and they got 18 months for that. I don't see you defending the innocent people who walked onto a public grass at a public building after a riot had been completed. You don't know, you don't care. You've taken a tribal position and people are suffering because of it. Now you say that Donald Trump saying the injustice that we've seen warrants commutation or pardons. You say that means he's advocating for violence. This is the ultimate problem. Then you cite a press release from Maryland saying, but the right's more violent. There is a distinction between a white supremacist as a right-wing group and a run-of-the-mill Christian conservative who showed up on that day not to protest. Let's talk about Brandon Strzok. He never went in the building. He was on the other side of the building. There was a permitted protest. He walked up the stairs and he was yelling. They put this guy in prison. There is Owen Schroyer, who was at a permitted rally, who was yelling death to communists. They put him in prison and specifically cited his speech. My dude, you don't know what you're talking about. And it's fine. I get it. We try to be polite. We try to be nice. But there are so many young liberals who sit here and say, the corporate press told me that these people are bad and the machine state government has decreed it by pen. So I don't care what crime they committed. I don't care what the jury said. I don't care who was on the jury. Enrique Tarrio, who was not there, should be in prison for 2 decades. Tell me this now. Why is Enrique Tarrio in prison?
Yeah.
Okay, so, hey, I got to give it to Mr. Luke, okay? First off, that jacket is fitting real nice, okay? I need me one of those. But first off, okay, he took that like a champ. Oh my God, midway through, not even 10 seconds of Tim Pool running his loud mouth, I would have ended the whole conversation, bro. I'd be like, hey, meet me at the skate park, bro, because we throwing this down, bro. You talking to me like I'm your child, like I'm your pet dog or something, and we about to figure that out real quick. Hey, kudos to Luke. He's a better man than me, because I can't take that kind of ish no more. You know what I'm saying? I am too old to be dealing with people talking to me like that. But I digress. Let's listen to his answer.
Yeah, so they uncovered with him his plot to overthrow the government.
Enrique Tarrio, is that?
Yeah, and his organization.
What plot? Who's they? Give me some
prosecutors.
Give me some fucking data. Stop squinting at me and saying the prosecutors did a thing.
Okay, so again, because it's even watching this back, I'm like, gosh.
Oh my God.
Secondhand embarrassment for him, because I know where it's going, which is he then Googles and fact checks what I'm about to say. And
but let's go ahead and get to that part, man. Once again, I'm pretty sure you guys are subscribed to him. I'm pretty sure you guys already know what happened, but let's go ahead and hear and just see the life. And he does it so like nonchalant. Like, oh, okay. Anyways, I be like, no, bruh. You just yelled at me for like 3 minutes straight, and now you're faced with what? And you just gonna just like it's nothing? Oh, we fighting for real. Off a principle, bro. Like, no, you let's continue.
This conviction.
You didn't know. You didn't read it. You didn't read the court papers. All you know is the fascist machine state told you he should be in prison, and you're saying yes to them. Tell me why.
No, I understand that laws on the books have been there for a long time that I agree with, that if it's proven that you had a plan and you wanted to act on it, and then days after.
What's the proof?
The proof is
say the proof.
forward by prosecutors.
Say it.
Communications between
What communications? What did he say? What did he do?
Is this serious?
Are you going to tell me why you think Enrique Tarrio should be in prison for 20 years, or are you going to say the government decreed it?
I just explained to you.
So the government said so. Is that it?
It's usually law enforcement, which I guess is a part of the government.
Government said so?
Yep.
So
Law
you can't
enforcement
say why.
that uncovers evidence of communications, a memo that he crafted and sent to his organization.
Saying what?
That detailed each institution of government that they were going to try to overthrow. Then just days later, his organization is at the Capitol.
I don't think we can.
So then he starts Googling it. But first, let me play again.
Okay, hold on. Because I don't want to make this a 2-hour video, but let's go
Right.
to
But
the
you don't
conclusion.
clearly know anything about the court documents yourself. And here, let's just play this and then we'll go back. Just him saying you don't know about the court documents.
Give me some
prosecutors.
Give me some fucking data. Stop squinting at me and saying the prosecutors did a thing. You didn't know. You didn't read it. You didn't read the court papers.
You didn't read the court papers. Okay. And then I give more details about the court papers than he seemed to know. and it leads to him Googling. Let me play this for you uninterrupted. It's fascinating because this is how, I guess, people are misled. They won't take the time to just research what it is that they're saying, or they're convinced by sort of his chest beating instead of listening to what it is he's saying versus what I'm saying, and which one is substantiated by fact.
All you know is the fascist machine state told you he should be in prison, and you're saying yes to them. Tell me why. Give me the data.
I understand that laws on the books have been there for a long time that I agree with, that if it's proven that you had a plan and you wanted to act on it, and then days after.
What's the proof?
The proof is
say the proof.
forward by
Don't
prosecutors.
ask. Say it.
Communications between
What communications?
him
What did he
and
say?
the
What did he
Proud
do?
Boys. Is this serious?
Are you
Or
going to tell me
grandstanding?
why you think Enrique Tarrio should be in prison for 20 years, or are you going to say the government decreed it?
I just explained to you.
So the government said so. Is that it?
It's usually law enforcement, which I guess is a part of the government.
Government said so?
Yep.
So
Law
you can't
enforcement
say why.
that uncovers evidence of communications, a memo that he crafted and sent to his organization.
Saying what?
That detailed each institution of government that they were going to try to overthrow. Then just days later, his organization is at the Capitol.
I don't think we can even pull up Enrique Tarrio.
I'm not quite sure that there's any evidence of that sort.
Yeah. You know what? I'll say this. The idea that Enrique Tarrio crafted a memo
Seditious
outlining,
conspiracy, okay.
or they,
He goes, seditious conspiracy. Okay. And just cut away from that for a second, Jade. Let me quickly, for all of you, explain. You had this 1776 returns document, which was the memo I was referring to, that specifically outlined, crafted by Tarrio, or I should say, accessed by Tarrio and spread around. I don't know if he did the actual writing of it, but his organization did, and then he was using it as guidelines to disrupt the certification process of the election, of course, and to take over government buildings. You obviously have all these communications, Proud Boys group chats. You have, let's see here, encrypted messages. Of course, video footage of his organization at the Capitol attempting to violently overthrow the lawful election. And geolocation data as well, helping to establish the placement of all these different Proud Boys members, Enrique Tarrio being at the top of that organization and leading them into battle. That's seditious conspiracy manifested right there. But somehow, I don't even understand from his perspective what made all that rage justified if his big bombshell question of, tell me about Enrique Tarrio, and then he didn't know the main points of what sent Enrique Tarrio to prison. I don't know where that came from or why he was so confident to scream so much. Very weird.
And once again,
3 months featured witness.
We know why. Because they don't care about facts. They don't care about logic. They don't care about nothing except for their talking points that's only going to feed to their base. That's it. They don't care about reading. They don't care about writing. They don't care about knowledge to any certain extent. Nothing. And you get this.
Evidence issued at Tarrio and co-defense included videos, thousands of messages and encrypted chat groups, as well as a public message on Parler. On or before January 6th, Tarrio convened a Ministry of Self-Defense to coordinate Proud Boys leadership on January 6th. The chat showed that Tarrio, stationed in Baltimore, encouraged the Proud Boys as they attacked the Capitol. Let's figure out what that encouragement was. Are they going to actually say in the article? So here's a citation. Proud Boy and 3 other members of the far-right groups were convicted Thursday in a plot to attack the Capitol. A jury in Washington, D.C. found Tarrio and 3 lieutenants guilty of seditious conspiracy after hearing dozens of witnesses. Jurors cleared a 5th defendant, Dominic Pizzola, on a citizen charge in a significant milestone of the Justice Department, which is now secured a conspiracy, blah, blah, blah. They will never stop. Okay, that's interesting. Wikipedia asserts...
He said, oh, okay, that's... Bro, why? You did 5 minutes of screaming, going crazy, being disrespectful. Okay, like that kind of talk, at least where I'm from, people got whooped for a lot less than that. So you were borderline, I need to get whooped to figure out my place in life. That's where you were at. And all of a sudden, when you read something, when you take the 30 seconds minute to read something that has been, I'm pretty sure, investigated and searched with a fine-tooth comb plenty of times, when you finally read something, you're like, what did he say?
A conspiracy, blah, blah, blah. They will never stop. Okay, that's interesting. We could
Blah, blah, blah. They'll never stop. Okay, no, we fighting after that, bro. I don't care what you gotta say. We fighting. We throwing hands, bro. That's simple.
Wikipedia asserts that they did this, but there's actually nothing in the news article that actually states that is true. Well, now we got a problem.
Well, no, okay. Yikes. This is so strange. I'm excited. I am going on again, so look forward to that. And I also will show you a different appearance on a different one of these shows soon. But now I know that I'll probably just have to be more aggressive, because my whole thing, y'all know in conversations, I'm just super open to having a discussion. I want to be good faith. I'm not trying to get some epic clip takedown for the most part. But if we want to play that game, I'll play the game and I'll be more aggressive. It just is a bummer that their bad faith prompts me into having to be more aggressive instead of just having a really open, calm dialogue about these issues. But a lot of people don't want that. That's not what gets clicks. And so they do whatever the heck that was.
So
Let's try this.
So, and you know, I'll just stop it right there. Once again, I'm pretty sure you guys know who that is. He has over 1 million subscribers. So if you want to watch the whole thing, go ahead, watch the whole thing. But Destiny said it best. You know, he said, when you're having these conversations with these magatards, you can't go into there with good faith intentions, or not good faith intentions, but you can't go in there thinking you're going to have like a really good faith conversation with them. They don't care about that, especially with them winning the election. They are going to act however, say whatever to whoever except me. Cause hey, homie don't play that. Okay. Homie don't play that, but they're going to act like that. So, you know, not trying to tell Beasley how he needs to be acting, but like, you know, put your foot down, bro. You know what I'm saying? Those cowards ain't gonna do nothing. I tell you that right here. They ain't gonna do nothing. So don't let no dumbasses like that ever speak to you or anybody else like that from here on out. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, don't invite me, because it ain't gonna go down as civil as that. You know what I'm saying? But when you're talking to individuals like that, and you got your facts, you got your logic, you got the proof, you got the receipts, that's going to shut the conversation down. And you don't give them an inch. Don't let them just, okay, yeah, okay, whatever. No, conversation ends there. If you can't admit that you were wrong, then we're not continuing this conversation. That's how, in my opinion, and Jank, you need to be listening, is how you're going to convert anybody back to reality, is make them challenge what has happened with the proof. Don't let them, you know, just skim by it and, you know, just kind of nonchalant. Like, no, you wrestle with the facts or the conversation's done. That's simple. But I do love how, once again, Mr. Luke had the facts. He knew what he was talking about, and he held it together better than I could ever do in my life. But once again, guys, if you agree or disagree with anything I said in this segment or this entire video, let me know in the comments down below, or hit that Discord button so me and you can have that one-on-one talk. And like always, let's have that conversation. And when I'm back in Chicago, I feel it. Another version of me. I was in there.